Stop everything you're doing and watch this video to make sure you aren't already messing up your New Year's resolution. Today we're going to be talking about 3 of the biggest mistakes people make when making a New Year's resolution and how to avoid them. So if you want to have a fire start to 2022, be sure to watch this video. The first mistake people make when creating a New Year's resolution is not thinking long term. We create a resolution because we want to start something or stop something in our lives. And we typically do this at the beginning of the year because we want to change something for the next upcoming year. But when we do that, we tend to overemphasize and do too much to make a lot of change in a short time period. But if you're able to think about your resolution not just for this year, but as a lifelong process or a lifelong habit, you're more likely to offer yourself grace when you mess up, and you're more likely to take smaller steps and increments to achieve that habit because you know it's something you want to adopt for life. So the number one mistake people make is making a short-term change and focusing only on this year. You can avoid that by thinking long-term about what you want to achieve throughout your life and what habit you can adopt in the long term. The second biggest mistake people make is not coming up with a deeper meaning of why they want to achieve their New Year's resolution. We come up with resolutions like going to the gym or eating out less or going out less, but we don't come up with why we want to achieve them. So maybe you want to go to the gym more to lose weight, but why do you want to lose weight? Is it because you want to be healthier for when you have kids one day? Is it because you want to feel better about yourself and you know that exercising and losing weight may help with that? If you can come up with that deeper meaning of why, you're more likely to stick with that resolution when you start to falter. So anytime you don't feel like going to the gym, you can remember, why did I create this? Because I want to feel better about myself. But until you find that deeper sense of why, you're more likely to give up quicker. So find your why so you can stick with your resolution long term. The third and probably biggest mistake people make is they don't break their goals down into a simplified system. What I mean by that is instead of thinking about this big goal you want to achieve, you need to break it down into the smallest possible step that you can complete on a daily process with minimal effort. That's the key, is minimal effort. That's how you build a habit. So for example, if you originally start out with the idea of exercising every day, that is very difficult to keep up with. It's hard to do that. Our schedule changes, so we can't always work out every day. And then when we first miss that first day of working out, we get very discouraged. So instead of having this big goal of working out, exercising every day, we need to break it down to its simplest process that you can do on a daily basis with minimal effort. So that may look like, instead of exercising every day, maybe it's moving every day. Or maybe even simpler than that, it's doing one thing every day that makes you feel good. So that could be stretching for 15 minutes, going on a walk. It could be eating a healthy meal that day. The reason, if you break it down to a smaller step, it'll help you build momentum towards something long term. Remember, we want to make a long-term resolution. So if we want to get somewhere for the rest of our lives, we don't need to rush it by taking massive steps. If you can break it down to a simplified system that you can complete every day with minimal effort, you're more likely to achieve it. Those are the 3 biggest mistakes people make when creating a New Year's resolution. Avoid them to have a fire 2022 and to create lifelong changes. Get after it this year.